No, don't go in there. Daddy's working.
Yeah, I was so excited before I started recording this show and doing the prep work. I was researching this quote that I was going to share with you, and I think it's such a cool quote, and I'm so excited to bring it to you. And when I look it up, it's from a freaking Kenny Loggins song. I didn't even know who Kenny Loggins was till I started doing some research and realized it's soft rock. I don't listen to that crap. Man, but I'm going to share the quote with you anyways. And there's an embarrassing thing about this. I mean, more embarrassing than the Kenny Loggins thing is that I'm a recovering reality TV watcher. And one of the shows that Cupcake and I used to like to watch was called Selling New York, with these real estate agents selling high-end condos in the city, Manhattan, New York City. I like seeing all the condos and stuff like that and like to dream. And that was one of the reasons why I liked the show. But there was this guy, I think his name was Frederick, and he was a European guy. He was so funny. And one of his quotes was like, growth, always, in all ways. I used to think that was so cool till I looked up that stupid quote. And now I'm rethinking everything. Look, enough of that. Today, I want to talk to you about living up to your potential. And if you're not living up to your potential right now, you are a failure. But I'm going to help you out. If you feel like maybe you're just a little bit out of control, things are coming at you too fast, too much stuff going on, today's show's for you. If you're afraid that you are not making the impact that you were meant to make, then this show is for you. And I'm so excited that you're here with me today. And I can't wait to jump into this with you. So like every show we do, there's going to be 3 parts today. 3 parts. Number 1, ending something. Number 2, moving on. And number 3, who you were meant to be. So let's jump in. All right. Now that you're done laughing about me watching reality TV and even worse, real estate reality TV, let's get serious. Let's get into the first thing I have for you today. And if you're not living up to your potential, if you are not at your best, this is going to be super important, because this is what's going to make the difference between mediocre performance and the absolute top of the line stellar performance that you can give. Aristotle is credited with saying nature abhors a vacuum. And if you don't know what that means, I didn't either. I had to look it up, so don't feel bad. But essentially, unfilled spaces are unnatural, and therefore they go against the laws of nature and physics. So where there's an empty space, nature will look to fill it. And so we're talking about not being your best. And if you're not your best, if you know you've got more potential, if you want to do better, then you're going to have to work on your habits, because what your results are today, right now, what you're seeing in front of you is a result of what you have been doing for the past day, for the past week, for the past month, for the past year. So if you want to be better, if you want to improve, then you're going to have to get better habits. And so we laughed a little bit about the quote, always, and always, because it's a Kenny Loggins song and all. But if you're not improving your habits always, in all ways, then you're never going to live up to your potential, right? It's sort of like habits are a devotion, a daily devotion to your goals. If you have goals and you want to reach them, the first step to getting there is creating daily habits that help you achieve those goals. And that's why you got to be working on them always and always. I don't know why. I just want to start singing that song now. And I'm not a singer. Anyways, look, here are some mistakes that I see people make when they're trying to improve their habits. If you try to take on too much at once, if you're not doing them daily, if you're not being accountable, then there's no way that you can expect tomorrow to be better than today. And the fixes are easy. Just do one thing at a time. Make sure that you check in daily. Use a journal. And then creating new habits won't be quite as hard. All right, so listen, gotta pay the bills. So here is a quick advertisement for your ears that I think you're gonna find useful. How would you like to spend more time with your family and less time on your business? Before anyone chooses to do business with you, they need to know one important thing. Can I trust you? The only problem is building trust can take forever. And I know you don't have that kind of time, but what if there was a way to build trust in minutes instead of years? You'd want that, wouldn't you? Good news, buckaroo. That's exactly what you'll get inside my Digital Daddies Toolkit. It's got my top 3 speed influence tools to make you a trusted expert in any market quickly. Go to daddiesworking.com/DDT to grab your copy today. All right, so quick recap so we can move on. If you're not the best version of yourself, if you're not living up to your potential, if you're not the man you want to be or you're supposed to be, the first thing you need to do is take an inventory of your habits, get rid of some of those bad habits and replace them with good habits. And I recommend that you only do one thing at a time, or else it'd be easy to fall off the wagon, so to speak. One thing at a time, check in daily and write it down. Start a journal. Obsessed. That's what she said about me. I was absolutely, positively obsessed. And when Cupcake heard about that, she was not too happy. No, I'm just kidding. A few months back, I wanted to improve our marketing here at Podcast Factory. And Cupcake and I decided to hire a consultant, somebody who helped build customer profiles, I think is the way they described it. And we thought, hey, maybe this will help us do better with our ads. Maybe this will help us do better with our marketing. And maybe this will help us just have a better year overall and serve our clients better. So yeah, we invested and hired this consultant to help us create some customer profiles. And they were going to dig in and do customer interviews and talk to our best clients and find out all sorts of good things. So what I did was I went and got into my Google Drive folder, and I have this folder full of stuff, research and testimonials and all kinds of documents on like fear and joy and pain and loss and everything and anything that I've ever gotten from speaking with our clients and speaking with the people in our market. I have this all in files on Google, and I review it. And I even have some documents like my main customer profile, which I update every 90 days and review. And so I thought, hey, I'm going to give these people a head start and supply them with what I have here so they can dig even deeper on these things. I thought I was helping them out, and I thought maybe it would get us better results. And after about a week and several interviews of our clients, this agency that we hired told us they really didn't have any new insights. In fact, the person that was doing the interviews and that went through all my documents and all that stuff, said I was obsessed. She'd never seen anybody quite so obsessed with their client and their client profile. And that was supposed to be a compliment, maybe. I don't know. But I think it was a cop out because basically they didn't dig up anything new, because I've been obsessed with knowing our clients and making sure that we're serving them at the highest level. And that's just something I do regularly. That's part of my routine, is to check my client document every 90 days and review it and update it and study it. Anyways, the best thing that came from hiring this consultant was their recommendation for me to read the book StoryBrand by Donald Miller. Great book, enjoyed it and liked it so much. I ended up investing in their program and in the process of redoing everything at the Podcast Factory based on StoryBrand now. So good stuff. But really, I paid these consultants thousands of dollars to tell me to go buy a book. That's the way it is sometimes, though, isn't it? One of my favorite things that Donald Miller teaches in the StoryBrand book is people don't want to think. When they have to think, they burn calories. And in order to survive, they need to conserve their calories. So because of that, they don't want to think. They don't want to have to put too much thought into what they read or what they see. They want it to mean something to them right away, almost instinctively. And that's what he talks about in StoryBrand, is getting down to a story level where people do not have to burn calories, do not have to think, and they understand your message and how you can help them simply and easily. So if you've ever felt like you're not in control of your day, I'm going to give you the secret. You ready? Maybe you want to sit down. This is going to be some mind-blowing stuff. You need to have routines. Routines. You don't want to burn calories. You don't want to think. So by putting routines in place, you don't have to think about stuff like your workouts or how you start your day or how you end your day. If you've got a routine in place, all you have to do is follow it. It doesn't take a lot of time. It doesn't kill you to do a little bit of planning ahead of time. And the results are amazing, because if you're not burning calories thinking about what you do and don't have to do, and instead you've already planned out your day and mapped out the stuff that you're going to do at every part of the day, and you do this consistently, daily, day in, day out, you are in full control of your day. You're in full control of your time. You're a machine. So check this out. Go and look up discipline. Look it up on Google and you'll see the first thing that comes up is the practice of training people to obey rules or a code of behavior using punishment to correct disobedience. I think that's why people associate discipline with bad things like beatings, I guess. It's from the olden days, but really it doesn't have to be painful. All you have to do is start small. Just start with a morning routine. What you do when you wake up, first 3 things or the first hour of the day. Start there. Make that a habit like we talked about earlier. And once you've got that knocked out, it's not painful to add more to it. If you've ever been out of control, this is the way to gain control of your day. And I guess the best way to look at this is you're a machine. You are a result of your programming. By being disciplined and by having good habits and by upgrading those habits regularly, you're going to be a much finer tuned machine than you were before. Yeah, so I've talked about it before. I'm a member strategic coach going on my 4th year. And one of my favorite exercises, and this is something that you need to put into your toolbox, especially if you're afraid you're not making the progress that you should be making. You've heard me say it before. It's called the gap. And quite simply put, when you get into that low place, when you get into that feeling of despair, of unworthiness, when you're feeling down and out, and every entrepreneur feels this. I hate to admit it, I even get in this place sometimes where you're just feeling down, you're feeling like you're not doing what you should be doing, you're feeling out of control, you're feeling like a failure. And what you have to do is take a second, turn around, look back at where you came from, look at where you are, and acknowledge the huge gap, the huge jump in progress that you have made. And that will pull you out of it. It's crazy, but it's true. Sometimes you just got to stop, look back, and acknowledge what you have done and give yourself a pat on the back and tell yourself, yeah, this is it. I'm doing it. I've done it, and I'll keep doing it every day. I love our clients at the Podcast Factory. A while back, I worked with Nick Peterson, and he's like a pro bodybuilder and a businessman, and everything he touches seems to turn to gold. He's a magic man, that Nick. But he was explaining to me how his fitness system worked, and it's a progression. It's a step-by-step improvement. And the way he described it was so fun. You do something today, you put it on a piece of paper, and you've got a dot. Tomorrow, you do it again, and you've got 2 dots. Now you can connect them. You've got a line. The next day you come back and you do something, put another dot, 3rd dot, make another line. Now you've got a chart. Now you've got a trend. And as you keep adding dots, as you keep plotting points, as you keep marking down your progress, you're going to see your trends up and down, flat, and hopefully more up than down, but it's all part of it. But when you look back from where you started to where you are, you'll see that progress and you'll have proof of the progress. And the reason why I'm talking about this is because it's a real, solid, tangible way that you can look at your progress. And whenever you're feeling like you're not making the progress you should be, you're not where you ought to be, you look back and see where you came from. And that way, you know, there's no question about it. There's an accountability here. And if you're afraid to be accountable to your goals, to what you want, then you're never going to have it. So you definitely have to do this. If you're an achiever, you definitely have to do this if you're a high achiever, because you're going to need it when you hit the dip. So the key to being who you are meant to be is to track your progress, and not just in your head, but written down. Look at it, review it, and see where your trend is going. Are you trending up or down? What do you need to do differently? What do you need to do more of? What do you need to do less of? Are you on pace, on track to hit your goals and be the man that you are supposed to be? Let's do a quick recap before we break out for today. If you are not living up to your potential, you've got to upgrade your habits. Don't make the mistake of changing all your habits at once. Do one at a time. Nature abhors a void. So get rid of one bad habit, replace it with a good habit, and then do it consistently. If you ever felt like your day is out of control, the secret to taking back control of your life is simply routines. Quit burning calories thinking about things. Set up a morning routine. Go get your workout early. Go get your journal and plan your day early. Start the day with a routine and you will be in control. If you're afraid you're not making the impact you should be, you're not achieving your goals, then all you have to do is start writing things down, start tracking. That way, when you fall into the gap and you think you are not the man you're supposed to be, you can look back, see your progress written down, charted, see where your trend is going, and take responsibility for who you are supposed to be. That's all I have for you today. Next time, we're going to be talking about leverage, scale, and impact. How you can make your mark on this world and what you need to do it.
This is thepodcastfactory.com.